Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to the channel. If you don't know, it's the boy SAE. Bless up on yourself and thank you all for tuning into this one. Some wonderful peeps. The West Indies and Sri Lanka will battle in the upcoming test series in 48 hours, and I'm here to really zoom in on the opening pairs because we still haven't really found the right opening pair for the West Indies test team going forward. It's always changing. It's always um I don't know if you call it risk taking or what, but it's never having two solid openers who have really shown that they can hold on the fort. We have about four options in the team that were named to face Sri Lanka. So I'm gonna zoom in on it, and I want you guys to give me your best combination you think can get the job done. But before we go any further though, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell to be the first alerted whenever a new video is uploaded. So, as we know, we have four openers in the West Indies, call it five West Indies test squad to face Sri Lanka because we have Shea Oakwood, which I thought is out of the picture. Shea Oak is out of the picture, so I have to go with Amir Django, Brandon King, Tage Paul, and John Campbell. That four openers who can open the batting. Out of all those four names that I've called, who do you think have the better chances of making the top two? First and foremost, one specific player is a sure pick for me in terms of John Campbell. I think he's a sure pick if you're talking about opening the batting. But the other position, the other player position is kind of tricky because Tage Napal is there as well, but I don't think they're going to use two left-hander and Tage but slow. So he did well in the just concluded 4-day championship. So you have another option in terms of um, Brandon King, who we have seen them experimented with before. Never really did well, if you're talking about, he has played, I think, five test matches or so already, or six. But he has to really look impressive in terms of opening the batting. I think batting in the middle order kind of give him a little stability, in the team. So I think that's where he's best suited for. We have another Amir Django who just completed the regional 4-day championship back to back last year, and this year I think he did exceptionally well as for the TNT team, and this man has been growing into his cricket, for a while now, and people a lot of the time don't really give him a lot of credit that he deserves, but I think he's a really good cricketer coming out of Trinidad. The first time I saw this guy was in CPL playing for the Jamaica Talawas, and I was like, he's full of potential. He was hitting the ball with ease, hitting the sixes and fours, and I was like, yes, it's another bright talent for the West Indies. Then I went back and did a little research on him, and I realized that he has represented West Indies in the Under 19 World Cup, with Shimran Hetmayadem. So I thought, hey, what talent really were a part of that T20 World Cup squad. A lot of them are currently transitioning into the West Indies teams. Some of them has really forsaken cricket, or some of them have choose different part, but most of them has really still been playing cricket and hopefully want to represent West Indies one day. Right, so Amir Django is another good opportunity as well, and he can also keep. So you have three keeper in this West Indies test team: Sheob, Amir Django, and Joshua Da Silva. Two of them is a sure pick, but I'm not sure about Amir Django. Even I'm just praising him, but I'm not sure about his selection unless you're going to open with him or you're going to bat him at three. And if you bat him at three, you have to go drop Kevin Hodge or somebody else in the order. So it's going to be tricky. But I think the best that they're going to go for is, in my opinion, I think they're going to go for John Campbell. That's a sure pick. And I'll take the gamble and go for Tage Paul or Brandon King. But I think West Indies should open with Tage Paul and John Campbell. One is an aggressor, one is a stabilizer. Tage Paul has been iffy in terms of in and out of the West Indies test teams. It's really good. He got a double hundred already playing for West Indies versus Zimbabwe. A lot of people don't really consider it, but he did get a double century. He has shown that he has what it takes. He's a very good young cricketer. So he's a perfect pick. He and John Campbell, both of them have hundreds for West Indies in Test cricket. So I think these are the two players that will get the nod. We all know the other ones can bat anywhere in the team from 1 to 6. So these guys can fit in, but the opener should be John Campbell and Tage Paul, no question about that. But my peeps, I personally am confident. I'm not. I don't want to say fully confident in West Indies team or the openers to lay a solid foundation. They haven't really been able to do that. The average hasn't really been up there as opening pair to really lay a solid foundation for a better result at the end of the day, because the start is really important. We have to have good partnership to build a solid foundation that the other guys coming through are coming up next don't have to go down to the drawing board and start to rebuild from scratch. You understand? These guys need to set the foundation. So I think John Campbell and Tage and Paul should do their job, and we're just looking forward to really see how the Sri Lankan go about targeting our openers. But it's not gonna be an easy task for the West Indies openers. If you look at it, guys, Sri Lankan have some really good spinners, my people. Trust me, they have some good spinners. There's a lot of people, about 3 spinners, I think, in their team that can cause really havoc in West Indies batting lineup. As we know, the West Indies isn't good at playing spins, so it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky. That's the reason why I thought they brought in Shea Hope into the team, because Shea Hope understand to play spin, but him alone can't do it. So it's gonna be tricky. But hopefully we can see some good results from them. If Brandon can get the nod ahead of Tage and Paula John Kemp, I think he should grab onto this opportunity, because his selection into the test team was a iffy, because there were other players who performed better than him in the regional 4-day championship and they weren't selected. And I'm not talking. You might say I'm a Jamaican, so I'm not biased. I'm telling the truth. He didn't look impressive that much, you know. And the last couple of tests he has played, maybe that's the reason why they have chosen to stick with him. But his spot is not a guaranteed for the next series if he doesn't perform well this time around. He might be, yes, because Sammy is the coach, and some might say, players deserve opportunities. But there are other players in the region who are putting up the numbers, are putting up really core, not quality, but better results than Brandon King in the West Indies regional competition. A player like a Kirk McKenzie, a player like a Kevin Wickham, he's young, so people are questioning that, hey, he's not ready for Test cricket, yeah, and he's not ready to be in the West Indies. The rubbish. Because look at the Indian youngster there. He is dominating his era. You understand? He's dominating his era, my people. And people need to take notice and say you can't underestimate these guys. You understand? Because these guys are young, talented, eager to show themselves, and we just need to continue believing in them and trusting them. You understand? Because they are the future of the game, and I thought that they needed to get opportunities. But my people, just honestly just leave your and start down below, people, if you agree or disagree. Who you think should open for the West Indies in the upcoming Test series versus Sri Lanka? My final pick is John Campbell and Tage Paul. What's yours? Leave it down below. Bless up.